Thank you, sir. Now I think we should stop here. So thank you so much, Dr. R.K. Bhardwaj, sir, for giving your valuable time and very informative lecture, for useful for all the people. Nowadays, we are facing a lot of issue and problem with plagiarism and difficulties to publishing the paper. Many time, all we are facing, in our field also, we are eyewitness. Many times 7 months, 8 months, reviewer is taking a lot of time. So thank you so much, Professor Dr. R.K. Bhardwaj, for your valuable time and sharing your experience with us and with our participant. Sir, with this, sir, you may leave now. My office will contact you, sir, for the other formality.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And thank you to Professor Rajesh Singh as well. Thank you to each one of you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, dear participant, now the next speaker already joined with us, Dr. Rajesh Singh Kushwaha ji. Dr. Rajesh Kushwaha ji, Associate Professor in IIMC, the highest apex institutions in the mass communication. IIMC Amravati, sir is working as an associate professor. So, sir, welcome you. Sir is very renowned, and taking the time is very difficult with sir, because they are engaging in different their academic activity. But even then, sir accepted our invitation and share his thought with our participant. One of the most important area, that social media and social responsibility. How media, what is the role for social responsibility of the media nowadays in the society. So sir is going to talk about this. So sir, on behalf of the HRDC and behalf of the MzU University, I welcome you. With me we have Professor Bhartendu Singh. Sir Bhartendu Singh is a co-coordinator of this course. And me and he jointly handling all the sessions and this program. So he is also, on behalf of him also, I welcome you, and now handing over the session to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar. आप भारतेंदु sir और मनोज sir. Thank you for inviting me on this platform, virtual platform, to share my views with media and social responsibility. Can I share my PPT, sir?
Yeah, sir. Okay.
Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, it is visible, sir. Sir, please make it in presentation mode. So
okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah, it is there. Okay.
Today's the topic, media and social responsibility. Information is the first need of modern society. Everyone is interested to know what is happening around them. It is for this reason that we read newspapers and watch television, and also access the news website, social media also. These days, mobile phones are bringing much information to us, to news app, digital media through, and also social networking through. Many things are happening around us. Many events are taking place. But newspapers, television, radio, or website, which we collectively call media. Media give us only certain information. Overall, we can say media is a basic need of civil society. Media is a form of writing or presentation that tells people about things that really happened, but that they might not have known about already. People who write journalism are called journalists. They might work in newspaper, magazines, or TV or radio. Now we can say media is the activity of gathering, assessing, creating, and presenting news and information. It is also the product of these activities. The word media is derived from the word media. Signifying mode or career. Media is used to reach and address a large target group or audience. But the newspaper and as a electronic equipments, we get access the news. But we have the term media used as a plural medium. Plural medium is a singular, but it's a plural is a media. But in the overall assessing media as a singular, like print media is doing, electronic media is not not doing well, as like sentences we exercised with is a singular form. The term media various way through which we communicate in society, because it refers to all means of communication, everything ranging from a telephone call to every evening news on television, even digital media also. Now, today, nowadays, digital media is more popular than mainstream media. But we in later is lecture we discuss about social media more. In generally defined as an impersonal means of communication, which may be written, visual, or auditory, or sometimes a combination of these. Through this message, information and ideas are transmitted directly to audience. In simpler terms, the word media denotes the means of communication. Means of communication with a large number of people through written or printed words or sound and voice or visual images. In the simplest form, we can say that the term media refers to groups that communicate information and news to people. Television, radio, newspapers, magazines, audio and video tapes, are, as well movies are example of media. In other words, media is an organized means of sharing information through which it can reach a large number of people quickly, timely, effectively, and efficiently. Now we must take some minutes with the term communication, how it is important for human life. A cyclic process of sharing of experiences between two or more participants called communication. Communication can do everything. Communication works for those who work at it. John Powell said, communication, we should focus on the term communication before we take to media. Communication is universal to all human beings and is a key base to our lives. In fact, it regulates and shapes all human behavior. Dreaming, talking with someone, arguing in a discussion, speaking in public, reading a newspaper, watching a television program, are all different kinds of communication. We are engaged in every day. It means that we constantly exchange our thoughts, ideas, and emotions with someone, or either satisfy our physical emotion or other works. In Hindi, a term I should also focus on this. बात से बात बनती है, बात से बात बिगड़ती है, बात से बात आगे बढ़ती है, बात से बात खत्म होती है. Then this is the communication which can do everything and can spoil everything. And this is the power of communication. Communication is an integral part of one's life. In fact, society cannot survive in the absence of communication. And at delivery time of baby, if he or she not communicate properly, then it is abnormal. Means communication is not, then it is not normal. So please focus and use the communication word in daily life. We must try to communicate better, and it is a practice of man. Men are every creatures to how to communicate, and we have this means it shows your personality, and communication provide you better opportunity in social, in your job, and other fields also. Some functional definition of communication described it: the transfer of meaning, transmission of stimulus, one mind affecting another, one system influence other, the mechanism through which a human relation exist and develop, sharing of experience on the basis of commonness. Some definitions are here. Communication in an act of making something known to other, creating understanding. Communication is the transmission and interchange of facts, idea, feelings, or course of communication action. Communication, Bill Burslem also defined this. Communication is the process of establishing commonness or oneness of thought between a sender and receiver. Communication is the term. Communication is the sum of all activities one person does when he wants to create understanding in the mind of another. It is a bridge of meaning. It involves a systematic process of telling, listening, and understanding. Berelson and Steiner also say communication is the transmission of ideas, information, emotions, skills using words, symbols, picture, body, graphics, etc. Overall, we can define in our own words, then communication is more than mere transferring or transmission of ideas and thoughts. It is not a static act, as some of the earlier definitions suggest, but it is dynamic process of action and interaction towards a desired goal. As I suggested later, and definition, communication is therefore a process of sharing or exchange of idea, information, knowledge, attitude, or feeling among two or more persons through certain signs and symbols. Now we can also mention here, as I mentioned here, 7 C's of communication. How can you better your communicative power? Be clear. Clarity. Be clear about the goal of your message and the purpose of the message. Present one idea at a time, making it easier for recipient to understand. Don't leave them guessing what the message is about and having to fill in the gap themselves. Set a goal or outcome for what you want to communicate towards that. Second, conciseness. Keep to the point and keep it short and simple. You must use the formula KISS. Keep it simple. Don't use unnecessary words. Use 2-3 words where one will be do, or 6 sentences within when 3 will be do. Don't repeat the same point in different ways. This will also make a communication more engaging and more easier to understand. Try to form simple sentences with this limited, small word containing words. Concrete. Be clear, not fuzzy. Provide detail, but too much detail. Concreteness, be clear. Adding too much noise around your main points can mean these are missed. Make sure your main points, many conclusions are clear, and any conclusion are clear to recipient. Correctness. Check the information you are providing is accurate and written communication. There is more data floating in there, but which is a misinformation, which is a disinformation, we can't sure. So you must check, then use the data and use the information. Check the technical parts of content also, and use it in a understandable language to while we are using technical words, then it not be understandable by common man. So we used some it's more familiar words which are used in society. Coherent. Make sure your message flow well and laid out to logically. Make sure your message, the point you make should also be linked to the main topic and should help you to deliver the objective you originally set out to achieve. Make sure the tone of the message is seen throughout. Complete. Maybe completeness. Ensure the recipient have everything they need to understand your message and take action if needed. If action is needed, ensure a message include a call to action. Also ensure that specific details are clear and included. Don't leave the recipient with lots of questions to ask. Courteous. Your message should be polite, friendly, professional, open, and honest. Think about your message from the recipient's point of view and your empathic towards their needs. This will help you to deliver the message in a way that easy to understand and buy it. There is some forms of communication. Sir, are you getting my voice? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue, sir.
Okay. Forms of communication. Intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, and group communication, mass communication. These are based on the numbers. It is also important to know the different forms of the information forms, because how you use in communication in the basic forms of in this. Interpersonal. This is the kind of communication which there is only one participant, who is the sender as well as the receiver. This is also known as auto communication or introspection. It oneself is a good example for this. Next is interpersonal. This is a communication takes place between two participants, and the exchange they may be formal and informal. It is the most ideal kind of communication, as the sender can feedback instantly, and it is one-to-one communication. The sender can also study the body language, gestures, postures, facial expression of the receiver, and whether what he is said to, also what is meant. Influencing and persuading the other person is also easy, and there is a greater scope of appealing to receiver emotionally by means of motivating, encouraging, and coordinating. This is also known as a didactic communication. A group communication. This is an extension of interpersonal communication, and the exchange involves more than two people, where the participants get a chance to express themselves on subjects of communication interest. This communication serves many goals like collective decision making, self-expression, and relaxation, and this is effective as give the opportunity to interact directly with receivers. One common such aspect of such communication is that see the emergence of leader who coordinate the communication within the group. We also use this type communication in focused group discussion in research also. Mass communication. The last. This is the communication that takes place with the help of mechanical device. that multiple message and takes it to large faceless audience simultaneously. There is this is the place where we see how the message are multiplies and magic a term magic multiplier we see. The use of mass media like newspaper, radio, television, internet is needed for this kind of communication. The source and receiver are physically separated in time and space. The audience is anonymous and heterogeneous. The feedback in this communication is very slow. We can delay it. But this communication is more fruitful than the others. In the development communication, we used this type of mass communication to develop, development goals. Different forms of mentioned communication are effective in different communication contexts. Media, meaning and characteristics. The word media we have mentioned and above part, and we know how the media is important. In this slide, we message and audience, how message travels to audience. The message and medium between medium is between the message and audience. Without medium, we can't send our message to audience, and this is the basic tool by which we express our ideas, thoughts, and other types of media. Print media, broadcast media, radio and television, web media, social media. These are very popular. We know print media. Gutenberg has invented the printing machine, and we know how we access the books and papers, newspapers, and other forms. We now more forms available: magazines, newspaper, and pamphlet. It is, etc. Media has become an important part of life. It has a crucial function to perform: generate awareness, promote vigilance through these types of media. Print media is the oldest form of media, known as a print media. Involves newspaper, magazines, journal, brochures, newsletters, books, leaflets, pamphlets, and others. Most of us start the day by reading a newspaper. In a literate world, therefore, print media is very significant. The regular readers of print media tend to more likely to be aware and active about several issues. The print media is responsible for exhaustive reporting than other news sources. Many news reports on television, for example, are merely follow-up stories. Print media, as a normal in survey we can see, in a newspaper, more than 400 news. At a news channel, TV news channel, not more than 50 news, full coverage, with full coverage. So print media has a vast coverage of the news. Addition-wise, we can see local news or state news, regional news. We can more access on newspaper, not in a news channel. For example, we merely follow up stories. Although first newspaper appear in newspaper, although it is said that electronic or new media have replaced the print media. Sometimes we heard a word, print is dying. But in a form will be changed, but print is not dying in India. It is also relevant, and in latest survey shows 13% growth in print. That means print is not dying in India. Broadcast media. This media includes television and radio, as well electronic media like movies, CDs, DVD, as well as the news gadgets. Prior to advent of television in 50s, reliance for news was on radio broadcast only. Emergence of television, fewer people rely on radio as their primary news source. Local news stations have particular large audience because they can report on local weather, traffic, and other. In India, radio is still a very important medium of communication. In rural belt, radio is nowadays, still today, radio is a popular communication tool. Especially in rural area, we see that the disaster situation in giving warning about weather, and this medium is very useful. Community radio is a new form as now are expanding in rural, and also it is used for educational purpose. Web media. With the advent of new technologies such as internet, we are now enjoying the benefits of technology, mass media, which is a faster and has a widespread and globally spread. The internet has the advantage of audio as well as a visual control. Internet at a web media, we can see the convergence. Convergence means at an instance, we can send our video, text, audio at an instance to our readers or access users who can access these things, audio, video, text at an instance. The internet has opened our several new media. We can see, and there are more popular YouTubers also are surviving this COVID period when the media, newspapers are shut down. Only digital apps are coming, and work from home is going on. But then YouTubers are more popular, and YouTubers can also provide us some information which are not accessible by the television or another media. Now we must focus on the functions of media. Information, functions of media. Information. Suppose we inform about the bomb blast in Bombay or Calcutta, or demonetization, preventive measures against COVID-19. These information are from where we get? Media. Media who provide these. The quality of your life would be poorer than these bits of information. In Western countries, information is now regarded as power. More informant you are, the more powerful you become. Those who have access to information can take advantage of it. Their own interest, media, provides us the enormous information about the environment which we live. Information such as news of war, danger, crisis, famine is important. For that helps in taking appropriate steps to safeguard our interest. Now, second, education. One of major function of media is to instruct, educate, and socialize the member of the society. All these functions start easily in life, at home or in school, and continue till one company. The full cycle of life. Communication provides a fund of knowledge, expertise, and skill that enable people to operate us. Communication, it also creates awareness, gives direction and opportunity to people to say, actively participate in public life. Media also entertainment. Human beings must be entertained to break the monotony of their routine and divert their attention from the troubles and tensions of the daily life. The divergence should not be taken as a negative element. Has a positive roles in our life. It revitalizes our personality and even educates us. I think all of you some watch Charlie Chaplin, Laurel and Hardy movies and cartoons they relax you and also your siblings and others in childhood also. The entertainment at the same time common on life. We cannot but learn a lot of life from these comedies. Media provides boundless entertainment to people through pictures, films, music, drama, dance, art, literature, comedy, sports, games, and so on. Media also persuasion is the basic function. Of course, one of the most important functions in mass communication media is the persuade the other party. Why is it? Because persuasion helps in reaching decision and consensus on public policy so that it is possible to control and govern. But it is possible that one may resort to persuasion with a bad motive. It may be possible. The receiver must be careful about the source of such persuasion. The receiver must care this time. Motive can be positive, can be negative. Media provides a platform where we can debate and discuss. It is through debate, media that public can clarify different viewpoints and issues of public interest and arrive at a general agreement on matters that concern all. It is important for them to find out the reasons for such debates and discussions. Are the contending sides represented equally? Is any of contending parties under pressure to do a certain line? Such critical appraisal of debates and discussion will benefit the users. Media also promotes the cultural promotion. Media provides an opportunity for culture to preserve and promote. It stimulated individuals to pursue and fulfill their creative urges. But then one must be critical and ask questions. Whose culture is being promoted? Anyway, ultimately, what motive do the centers of such cultural programs have? Integration. Communication is a great integrating tool, and media is a more powerful tool in this way. Throughout a fund of knowledge or information, individuals, groups, or cultures come to know one another, understood and appreciate others' way of life, and thereby develop tolerance towards one another. It can also be greatest disintegrating tool. Which culture do we watch in a telecast of Doordarshan every day? Are these programs helping us to understand our cultural ethos better? One must constantly ponder over this. Now, next slide. Sir, my voice, are you getting? Hello. Are you getting my voice, sir?
Yes, sir. It is going well.
Okay. This is a picture. I know we see the how media invented and how now present condition is this. Gutenberg print press comes in 1455. Then first photograph 1830, 1843, a long distance telegraph lines by S. Morse. And 1895, Lumiere brothers invented moving pictures. telephone, cross-continental in 1914. 1923, televisions come, and 1930, motion picture started. And 1951, computer first sold. ARPANET comes in 1969, and home computer means PC in 1976. The US released the internet. WW was born 1994, and the era begins of internet. And now era is of social media. All of our users, I think no one here who can not use this social media, and this is the internet by which you and we are. This is a huge platform by this internet we use. A media and timeline. Columbus discovery reaches this news reached Spain in 3 months, and Napoleon Bonaparte's defeat news reached Britain in 8 days. Lincoln's assassinations reached Europe in 3 days when telegram was. Neil Armstrong feet on moon just in 3 minutes by radio. And attack on WTO goes by live. And now everything is live. This is the travel of media, and we can see as a event we see all of the in broadcast media ultimate live the event or any news, yeah, any maybe an accident, maybe a casualty, maybe a seminar, maybe conference, they make live. This is the travel of media in speed. How is the speed is grow in this through the internet and through the and technology development. Media, the fourth pillar of democracy. Media is known as the fourth pillar of democracy, and it plays an important role in keeping democracy alive. It is a connecting link between the government and the people, and it is helped to communicate to the latter about the policies and inefficiency that may impact them. Also, media has a role of that of a watchdog. Fourth estate recognized, Edmund Burke coined this term. 3 core principles that are fundamental to critical ethical practice of journalism: reporting the truth, ensuring transparency, and serving the community. Hence, the role of media cannot be sidelined in any way. People often get influenced by that they read, hear, and see on the news that is brought in front of them via newspaper, radio, television, and now social media too. It cannot be ruled that audience opinions are often influenced by these news and help them to choose their representative in panchayat, municipality, assembly, and parliament. We have read hegemony theory, and we can see that how hegemony creates, and media is a basic tool for create hegemony. Fourth estate is the mission of fourth estate is contribute to healthy society for fostering and supporting and incubating a sustainable and vibrant free press. The only sustainable free press is an ethical free press. Governance is the process of decision making and manner in which decisions are implemented. It describes how various public institutions conduct public affairs and manage public resources. So it is not limited to three branches of the government, the executive, legislature, and judiciary, but it is needs effective participation from market, civil society, media, and non-governmental organization, and masses as well. In today's knowledge society, with unprecedented development in information and communication technology, media plays a seminal role in ensuring good governance. In fact, media is considered as the fourth pillar of democracy. There are some essential features of good governance, such as legitimacy, participation, accountability, and transparency. Overall, media keeps democracy alive, connects link between the government and the people to communicate the policies and projects. The media has a role that of a watchdog. Now we proceed for the next slide. Media and good governance. Media and good governance. Good governance encompasses participation by market and civil society, along with the government in governing, adhering to rule of law, promoting transparency, accountability, and human rights. It includes accountable, transparent, responsive, equitable, and inclusive administration. As you mentioned above, media is a fourth pillar. Democracy plays a vital role in serving all these criteria. It is not investigation and criticism of it, which ensure that good governance takes hold, but it is role to act a beacon of change for masses and as a tool for good and betterment of masses, not in their own interest. Media's role in promotion of good governance can be understood with the help of a contribution, protecting human rights, curbing corruption, promoting rule of law, bringing change, and ensuring people's participation in decision making. In contemporary times, media has an important role in governance as it creates a platform for freedom of expression, focus on responsiveness of state to citizens, and improves state-citizen relations. Fosters debates and dialogues by making available balanced and reliable information. First, we see the point of media and democracy. Democracy is the primary requirement of any good governance. And it is rightly said that democracy without media is like a vehicle without wheels. Democracy without media is like a vehicle without wheels. Media is the role in democracy is clear than Thomas Jefferson says, this statement. It is if it were left on me to decide whether we should have a government without a newspaper without a government. And we should have a government without newspaper, a newspaper without a government. Jefferson said, I should not hesitate a moment to refer the latter. Media is considered as the fourth pillar of democracy. Media brings about the awareness among the people and acts as one of the major instruments of social change. In democratic setup, it is a media which strengthens democratic norms and values and also accelerate the pace of development. Next point, media and people's participation. One of the characteristics of good governance is a participation. People's participation means the citizens and their institutions have the opportunity to involve in a meaningful ways in making decisions that affect them or in which they have an interest. Media encourages people's involvement in governance. It provides them in them with the information and skills needed to participate in political system. It makes citizens feel that they have the right, the opportunities and mechanism through which they can their voice heard. Through media, people can influence the decisions that affect their life. Media increases access to political information. It provides creation of public sphere and space. Public sphere and space where people can participate over a wide range of debates and gives opportunity for presentation of different viewpoints. It creates democratic legitimacy over issues. Next point, media and public opinion. Public opinion is citizen cumulative views on politics, government action, social issues, and so on. It is very important for any governance or democratic system to understand and accept public opinion, because citizen public political actions are driven by their opinion. It helps political and administrative system to understand citizens' expectations. Public opinion sheds lights on the reason for specific policy outcomes. It also serves as the feedback to government, its policy and actions. Therefore, the democratic governments, authorities come to know about the aspirations, wishes, needs, and grievances of people by gauging public opinion. Media shapes opinion by providing the information on different issues, are not only to public but also to policy makers. Next point, media and the change. Media is the key tool for the change. We can see in every change, for every change, we use the media as a tool, maybe newspaper, maybe television, news channel, or other things. It also helps the raising awareness of people through disseminating legislative debates, public grievances. Such news helps to we are aware about media's role before, during the development projects that led by the government. For in development projects, in the media is the both used as a managing tool and as an advertising tool. Media and accountability. Media acts as a watchdog against the misuse of administrative. It continues watch on government policies and actions ensure accountability of government to citizens. That helps in improving service delivery and governance. The media reports act as a check and the arbitrary use of powers by the government authorities and institutions, and ensure that the transparency and accountability are adhered in the government. Next, media and human rights. In media also a key tool to achieve the human rights in the right way. How human rights cases are seen in a public sphere. The media who show the reality of human rights states in the society or a particular region that will happen. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that all human beings have certain basic inherent, inalienable, and unaccessible rights to which they are entitled by birth. Providing these rights to citizens and protecting the same is the foundation stone of democracy and good government. protection of the human rights is the foundation stone of democracy and good government. Media has a very important role in securing, protecting, and promotion of human rights. It creates awareness about the concept of human rights and congenial environment for their protection. Next, media and rule of law. Rule of law is essential for smooth functioning of democracy. According to the United Nations, the term rule of law refers to principle of governance in which all persons, institutions, and entities, public and private, including the state itself, are accountable to laws that are publicly promulgated, equally enforced, and independently adjudicated, and which are consistent with international human rights norms and standards. It requires, as well as measures to ensure adherence, the principle of supremacy of law, equality before the law, accountability to the law, fairness in application of law, separation of power, participation in decision making. Rule of law is one of key pillars of the good government. When rule of law is ensured, it builds confidence in the democratic process of country. When it is not respected, arbitrariness and impurity dominate the government. By the term rule of law, we simply mean that everyone is equal before the law and same rule applies equally to everyone. Everyone is equal before the law and same rule applies equally to everyone. Media plays a crucial role for promoting vigilance over maintenance of upholding law. Next slide. Media coverage. Generally, we see political, crime, sports, and business news are full in more than more in newspaper, in news channels, in news apps, and digital media and news websites also. But raising these issues, media also raise voices on the social issues such as healthcare, income and housing, social networks, and customs abuse of older peoples, and safety and security, road safety, and other issues. Education is also a part of these. Next slide. Development and media. Development is a word which is more popular than other words for public and rurals and government and other public forum. We also everywhere we see this word and hear this word development. Development we can define an qualitative changes in the daily life and basic requirement. As the first term we more popular is see in the literate word. So development, then this is a development. Development means rise in an economic equalization, modern knowledge, productivity, social equalization, improvement institutions and attitude. To attain this, media play the role. The role of media is a platform for forum, circulate the knowledge, and teaching and training the skills, create and maintain the consensus. A platform for forum, a platform where we can raise the issue, we can aware the people by this any project and any plan, and circulate the knowledge. We can express we can say the people to attain this program and get the knowledge about this particular seeds or particular high yielding seeds or fertilizers. As in rural area, we can use this type of platform for circulate the knowledge. Some skills are needed to teach and training. In 1975 to 76, we see a site project run by ISRO and NASA, both a joint venture. There are more than 2,000 villages are taken, and in 6 states, and we use the television as an experimental base and for development issues and like daily farming, small scale industries, and animal husbandry and other. After the assessment of this project, we get very enlightful result, and this result show the role of media is a very, very, very appreciated. Means role of media is a vital tool for a development and the such type issues. Next, media literacy. And literacy is the term by which all are aware. Media literacy is also a coined term nowadays. We heard about every debate. Also, they say, panelists said media literacy, about the media literacy. Now the term we have news is a product. First of term news. News is a product or a news is a point of view. News is a product because news is a we collect raw information and we process, then we get product as a product and news. Like a product, we process, means get information and we edit it, then it presentable form, and we air, publish or broadcast. Then product, this is a product. But news is a point of view also. Point of view by which we express our motives and other things. News is a product and point of view both. Nowadays we see such type news which looks like a news form, but at the end of the that news, there are term used by editorial custom message. The editorial is such a advertisement type, such a advertisement which is written in the form of news. We general reader or accessible users cannot differentiate between editorial and editorial or news. Here the media literacy is required. Media literacy decode media messages, including the system in which they exist. Accesses the influence those messages on thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and creates media thoughtfully and concisely. Media literacy is expanded conceptualization of literacy that includes the ability to access and analyze media message as well as create, reflect, and take action using the power of information and communication to make difference in the world. Our children live in a world of powerful 24 class 7 media. There has been a drastic increase in the amount of time children and youth are spending with media over the last decade. Children ages 8 to 18 now spend an average of 7 hours and more than 7 hours per day with entertainment media outside of the school. According to our recent research, media can entertain and inform our children in positive ways. However, since most children are not taught to use media thoughtfully, many media messages contribute to public health issues such as obesity, bullying, and aggression, low self-esteem, depression, negative body image, risky sexual behavior, and substance abuse, among other problems. Additionally, the rise of internet and social media has expanded our access to information, including misinformation. Misinformation and other word popular is fake news, but fake news is not a correct word, as a scholar said, a media scholar says. In next slide, we discuss about this. Media literacy is the ability to decode media message, including the system which they exist. Next slide. Social media. Social media is a collective online communication channel where communicate, interact, share content, and collaborate. Websites are dedicated to social networking, microblogging, forum, social bookmarking, wikis, and social curation are examples of sometimes of social media. The most famous social networking companies are Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and nowadays smartphone users are growing day by day, and the smartphone users are also use social media. You and I and we are all of us using social media and connected through it. Sir invited me through social media, and you are also my dear participants. You are also joined with this and connected through academics, through family, through and other society members, others. The social media is so powerful in nowadays. Government and our administration also watch this social media very carefully, because some times the rumors were so widely spread and speedily through social media, and the internet shutdown is only for this social media. This social media is the reason behind the internet shutdown. Problems of media world. Objectivity, paid news, fake news, misinformation, disinformation, malinformation. First, objectivity. Objectivity is a term in which the news is not a positive, not a negative way. There is no coloring. We should maintain facts as it is. In this way, I quote a statement of the CP Squad. Facts are sacred, comment is free. But sometimes we see a particular news is colored, maybe a positive or maybe negative. There is such a serious problem. How maintain objectivity in the media world? This media is also industry, and pressure on industry is well known by you all of. So objectivity, how can we maintain? There's big problem for media. Such a type of news are also in media world. We see paid news. Paid news are news we in a news which is published by paying some money or in other form. In election times, paid news were more frequent. We see some politician use this. Election Commission make a rule, but some follow, some not follow. Some are punished for it, but loopholes some are, and process is so long, and then it is so much possibility there they can get rid of these rules, and particularly how can he pay this? Mode of payment is not clear. So paid news is a problem, but there is a solution is a very, very questionable. Fake news. The word fake news we heard, but this term is misnomer. News is a pure thing. It cannot be fake. News is based on fact. A fact is a verifiable observation. So this term fake news is a misnomer, but this is popular. Then we heard and used this replacement be misinformation and disinformation. This is correct. In misinformation, intention is not bad. In disinformation, intention is purely bad. Purely means sure to it be bad intention. And malinformation used video or picture to morph to and used for to it may be cultivate a bad image of any personality or image. Social responsibility theory. Formulate the code of conduct of the social responsibility theories. Just a moment. Are you getting my voice, sir?
Yes, yes, sir.
In mid-20th century, most of developing countries and third world nations have used this social responsibility theory of press, which is associated with the Commission of Freedom of Press in United States in 1949. In the book of 4 Theories of Press, Siebert, Peterson, and Wilbersham wrote this book, and there is a 4th theory of press, and it's big authoritarian, libertarian, socialist responsibility, and communist theory. It's been stated that the pure libertarianism is antiquated, outdated, and obsolete. That paved way for replacement of libertarian theory with the social responsibility theory. Social responsibility theory allows free press without any censorship, but at the same time, the content of the press should be discussed in the public panel, and media should accept any obligation from public interference or professional self-regulations are both. The theory lies between both authoritarian theory and libertarian theory, because it gives total media freedom in one hand, but the external controls in other hand. Here the press ownership is private. The social responsibility theory moves beyond the simple objective reporting, facts reporting, we have discussed above, to interpretative reporting, investigative reporting. The total news is a complete facts and truthful. But the Commission of Freedom Press stated that no longer giving facts truthfully, rather than a necessary analyzed interpretative reports and fact with clear explanation. Freedom of Press stated that no longer giving facts truthfully, rather than give a necessary analyzed or interpretative report and facts with clear explanation. The theory helped in creating professionalism in media by setting up a high level of accuracy, truth, and information. The Commission of Press Council also included some tasks based on social responsibility of media, which are as follows. First, formulate the code of conduct for the press. Next, improve the standards of journalism, safeguarding the interest of journalism and journalists. Criticize and make some penalty for violating the code of conduct. The theory allows everyone to something or express their opinion about the media. Community opinion, consumer action, and professional ethics. And also allows serious invention of recognized private rights and vital social interests. Private ownership in media may give better public service unless government has to take over the shore of the public to provide better media service. Media must take care of social responsibility, and if they do not, government or other organization will do. Critics of this theory, some points are: avoid the conflict situation during war or emergency by accepting the public opinion. Media will not play monopoly because the audience and media scholars will raise questions if media published or broadcast anything wrongly or manipulate any story. Media standards will be improved. Media will concern all audience rather than focus on higher class in society. Media may work autonomously, but certain things is controlled by government and other public organizations. Such points are for social responsibility theory. And there is a press freedom, next slide, which there. Freedom of press for regarding India is a part of freedom of speech and expression guaranteed by the Constitution under Article 19(1)(a). The limits of freedom of expression and speech also extend to freedom of the press and the media. Article 92 on the following grounds offers reasonable restrictions such as India's sovereignty and dignity, state protection, and public order, decency, and morality, and in connection with the court contempt and defamation. Why press freedom necessary? It serves a check on administration and government. A free press has a responsibility to lift voice against any social disorder or evil. It works towards strengthening a nation's sovereignty and dignity. It helps to create an atmosphere where peace and harmony can be cultivated by the country's people. Free press is essential to a democratic society. A free The press offers the forum for hearing of a multitude of voices. At national, regional, and local level, media is a public watchdog as well. It is also an activist and guardian, as well as educator and entertainer. In India, the media has played a crucial role in providing people with knowledge about social and economic ills. Some more terms we have to know, and we can see how the media face these problems. Press freedom, such cases we punished some channels, some newspaper for provide such type news which are not restricted to the press freedom. Paid news seems to be taken from the roots in India, nexus between media individuals and politicians. For instance, fake opinions polls during elections. Between 2009 and 2013, the Election Commission is stated to have detected more than 1,400 instances of paid news. The credibility of news channels and newspapers being dented by the biased reporter and editors. Corporate and political lobbying and ownership. Most media houses are owned or responsible by corporations who may be their own political inclination, which reduces the press impartial coverage. Yellow journalism are term needless sensationalization of the problems to get TRP interferes with the actual news material, like a TRP case in last year, and Sushant Singh Rajput case, and 26/11 terror attacks in Mumbai. Poor regulation. Self-regulative bodies such as the Press Council of India has no authority to regulate the press of legislative. Only they have no such rights, how to punish it, and just they can say authority, not a teethless power. Advent of digital media, there is a fight for news exclusively merely to satisfy our obligation without testing the credibility of the news. In digital media, in YouTubers and social media, we see daily that there is a more news, more than news is less, but rumors are more. False media trials. Often the media declares the verdict immediately after an allegation. This is a contempt of court and also violates the right to reputation of an accusation. In news channels, we see these media trials. They say and they decide, and they results are open, and they say that such a person is such type, and that and other maybe avoid to declare the verdict immediately. All channels are newspaper and other digital media also. This type such type cases are shown in more in electronic media, means news channels. My final quote with my side before I have to some points about this topic. There is a data more and more data floating in the air, but there are only these are only data, not a fact. We need to check and verify it to be fact. As we said, statement of the CP Scott, facts are sacred and comment free. In the age of communication and technology, we see almost all smartphone users are communicator or come reporter. That's good, but where is responsibilities? This is the basic difference between common man's reporting and media reporting. For healthy and prosperous society, there is need of news with objectivity, as media scholars predict media shape mind and motives. In this way, responsibility of media is growing rapidly day by day, and media should follow social responsibility theory to achieve the goal, social responsibility. My final quote with Stephen Hawkins, a British theoretical, the media needs superheroes in science, just as in every sphere of life, but there is a really continuous range of abilities with no clear dividing line. Sir, hello. Hello. Sir, this is all for my side.
Yeah, sir. Now the sir is completed his talk. So if you have some questions, some observations, or some clarification, please put so that we can take up it and we can bind up today's session. Whatever your questions and observations, please put up. Okay, we are waiting. So yeah, if anyone. So as of now, sir, no any questions here from participant side. So I think in this stage, we have bind up with the things. Your presentation is very attractive by PPT and all. It's looking. So one question, just one. Shreya Mukhopadhyay she put. What is the difference between social and web media?
Social media and web media includes websites also. These websites are run by newspapers and news channels, and social media is run by users who have a smartphone and account on social media. So basic difference is between this.
Yeah, sir. One Santanu host is asking, no, does the political influence on media affect the democratic value?
Yes, we can in hegemony theories how a rural government use the media to form the how media used to form their ideology to on people with self-appraisal. Through media, government advertise their projects and plannings, and made their shape their minds to accept self. And this is the reason why in democratic world, government uses the media and handle the in own way to apply their motives and policies.
Yeah, sir. So, sir, I think now in this stage we will wind up. So, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir, to give him such opportunity.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir, Professor Bhatendra Singh, sir, coordinator as and sir, आपको बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद अमरावती की तरफ से हमारे आप कभी आइए यहाँ और हम सभी को भी अपने थोड़ा नॉलेज से शेयर करिए आप दोनों लोग कभी भी इधर आइए और हम आपका ज्ञान का जरूर कहीं ना कहीं अपने स्टूडेंट्स के लिए जरूर लेंगे प्रयोग करेंगे आपके लिए
Sir, you can also plan, sir. We have one IIMC center in the our MzU University campus.
I know, sir.
Yeah.
The IIMC center is at in university in at just a new building is inaugurated.
Yes, sir. So if you are planning sometime for other purpose also, you can come and meet us as a friend.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So it is in our campus only.
Ji.
So
Okay, sir.
thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
My office
Thank you.
will contact you maybe in middle of the, someday. Okay, for the official procedure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And dear participant, in this way, today we finish the second day of our program. Tomorrow again, as today, exact 10 o'clock, we will start our session. Okay, so now you can leave your session. And as I mentioned earlier, please make your report, daily report. Okay, in few lines. What lecture conducted, who took the lecture, like this, your report. Okay.